Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is PG Senpai. Today I will be creating the OG Monster High characters. And by OG, I mean characters that were the first few released, characters that are often talked about, and characters that were requested in my last few videos, which you can find on the screen and in the description. Today I will be recreating Lagoona Blue, Clawdeen Wolf, Abbey Abominable, Frankie, Ghoulia Yelps, and Draculara. In my last few Monster High videos, I got requests to create a few different characters, so I thought what better way to stress myself out than to make a dedicated creative sim video of all the OG characters all at once. This video took me over 8 hours to complete over the course of a few days, so I hope you guys enjoy. Sit back and relax, grab some snacks, and let's create some sims together. So here I am creating the very first character, Ghoulia Yelps. I was unable to fit her on the thumbnail and make it still look aesthetic, so she was not included, but she of course is going to be the first character that I am creating. And a little bit about Ghoulia. So she was speculated to be the daughter of a zombie couple from Canada. She's the smartest school at Monster High. Her personality is that of a shy and bookish girl with a sense of mischief. Due to being a zombie, she can only speak in moans and groans, a physical imitation that all zombies have. She also is the shortest girl at Monster High, but this may be due to the fact that she can never stand up straight. In the 2022 reboot, Ghoulia no longer limps and can speak English. She's the best gamer at Monster High as well as a skilled skateboarder. I wanted to include both Gen 1 and Gen 3, or the redesigns of each character, which is why Ghoulia had a crooked lip preset, and also I gave her a little bit of slouch in her redesign. She had green skin and she had pink glasses, but I went for her regular Gen 1 look for the most part. I do like that I was able to find a striped shirt and red over top, kind of similar to what she had in her Gen 1 look, and it was funny because it took me a really long time to actually find the striped shirt, or at least one that I thought would work perfectly. And I also gave her a cherry necklace to tie her look together, which was also at the very bottom. And then moving on to Frankie. So Frankie was originally the daughter of Frankenstein's monster and his bride. She was born in Germany, and she starts attending Monster High at 15 days old, making her the youngest student there. Frankie is known for her generosity, optimism, and kindness, believing strongly that everyone's flaws make them unique, but also for her innocence. She's powered by electricity and has to be recharged every night via the bolts at her neck, which I decided to include after her redesign. They were removed because the franchise Monster High does not own the rights to Frankenstein's monster's design. One of Frankie's most distinguishing characteristics is her heterochromia, which of course I had to make perfect. I tried so many different eye combinations and different heterochromia custom content eyes, which I finally got to work, and I'm so glad that it came out looking perfectly. So in the 2022 reboot, Frankie is the child of mad scientist Dr. and Dr. Stein, and she was created using the best and brightest minds in monster history. Unlike previous iterations, Frankie is non-binary and uses they/them pronouns, which I kind of picked up on with her redesign. Frankie also has a cybernetic leg and several customizable prosthetics that they use in the TV series. This iteration of Frankie also had blue skin instead of green and lacks neck bolts, which I discussed earlier. So I definitely wanted to go mostly for her Gen 3 look, but it wasn't working out for me, so I decided to switch to mostly her Gen 1 look and give her the aesthetic of her Gen 3 look, which is the they/them pronouns, and she has like a punk hairstyle, which I thought was such a cute idea. The only thing is I gave her black hair with white streaks instead of white hair with black streaks, but in Gen 3, it looks like she has either or with pink and blue in her hair. So I tried my best to make that come to life. And then my favorite part of Frankie was her prosthetic leg, which I was so happy when I found these shorts, y'all. Like, this is the best piece of custom content I've downloaded in a very long time. So I'm so happy that I found that. I actually found these shorts by accident looking for another piece of custom content, but I think I just got lucky when I found these, and then also looked into the Gen 3 redesigns and realized it would be a perfect fit for Frankie. The only thing I wish is that they came with the legs separate, like a skin detail and tattoos or something, or accessory. I thought that would have been really cool if it was like a separate accessory. If you guys are enjoying this creative sim so far, then go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end of the video for the two most requested, or I think the most popular in the franchise, Draculara and Clawdeen. This is how she came out. I hope you guys like how I recreated her. So next I'm going to be making Lagoona. So for Lagoona, I really wanted to give her a pink skin like her Gen 3 redesign, but it wasn't working out how I expected, so I changed her back to her G1 mostly and went from there, and I think she came out pretty well. But anyway, Lagoona is the daughter of Gilman Wade Blue from this old school movie I've never seen, and a sea nymph. She's known for her kindness, warmth, and friendliness, which offers the ghouls much reassurance in tense moments. In 2022, Lagoona is a pink-skinned Honduran sea monster, described as having grown up in a sunken castillo with little knowledge of the world. I think that is such a huge difference. But anyway, Lagoona is fierce and savage, but also sweet and bubbly. She loves romance and telenovelas. And like I said earlier, I wanted to give them more of a Gen 3 look, which is why all of my Sims have a thicker body preset, which I actually loved on all of them. So I remember when I was in high school, I used to take Spanish class, of course, and I was actually pretty good at Spanish, and I'm kind of still learning Spanish off and on, but I used to love telenovelas. At first, I thought they were like really cheesy, but they remind me of like those old school stories that some of my older family members watch, and it's just in Spanish. So I just like the aesthetic or like the feel of those TV shows, telenovelas and stuff like that. And if my memory doesn't fail me, which it probably is, this telenovela that I'm talking about was about a little girl who was aspiring to sing or something like that. She wanted to be a singer, I think. But anyway, when we first started watching the series, I really thought we were gonna watch like a Spanish show. So me and everybody in the class was like a little disappointed. But like as we went through the show, everybody, and me included, started to like fall in love with the telenovela and the show. And at the end, everybody was crying and stuff. And it just reminds me of like every time I start a new show, it's kind of hard and cringy in the beginning. But if you give yourself more time to watch most shows, then eventually you'll fall in love with a lot of the characters and start liking the show altogether. And some shows just really are not good at all and shouldn't have been made. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some shows that just dragged on a little bit too long and what I thought about that and what it has to do with this creative sim. This is how she came out. I think she came out really, really good. And of course, like I said, I went for her Gen 3 look. I think she looks really cute. Next, I did Abbey Abominable. So Abbey Abominable is a Russian accented daughter of a Yeti. She has a baby woolly named Shiver. That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. And she is Ghoulia Yelp's translator. In Ghoulia's redesign, she could speak English. So I thought that was really cool that they gave her more autonomy so that she doesn't need a translator anymore. But at the same time, it reminds me of one, The Walking Dead, and two, another show where the zombies learn to talk again, which completely defeats the purpose of zombies. Like, zombies are rotting, their brain is rotting, their body is rotting. There should be no way that the zombie is evolving to become human again. It just makes no sense to me. But that's what that reminds me of. And back on track with Abbey Abominable. Despite being supposedly Tibetan, she has been Russian since her creation, with her cousins having Slavic names and having a Russian accent. In the 2022 reboot, she is Indian American, which I did not expect. The TV series specifies that she's from Nepal, and she and her mother speak Nepalese. Abbey grew up alone in Mount Everest because other monsters were afraid of Yetis, but the boot crew realized Yetis were not bad when meeting her. She was accepted into Monster High, and her mother realized the world is not the same as it was in her time, and that the headless headmistress, Bloodgood, mentioned that Monster High has no rules against Yetis. Abbey is characterized as friendly and clumsy, which makes sense. Of course, I went ahead and gave Abbey her mostly Gen 1 look with lots of fur and some snowy elements. I also really wanted to give her some cute little horns based off of some concept art that I saw on Pinterest, but it didn't work because it was glitching with her jacket. I think she came out really cute. This is how she looks at the end of her recreation. And then moving on to one of the two most popular characters, I believe, which is Draculara. So Draculara is the Romanian daughter of Dracula. Despite being a vampire, she is vegan who consumes fruits, vegetables, and a lot of iron supplements instead of blood, which she will faint at the mere sight or mention of. She is cheerful, bubbly, and excitable. Draculara is one of the friendliest and most popular ghouls in Monster High and has a pet named Count Fabulous. Due to her birthday being on Valentine's Day, she has a pink shaped heart tattoo at the corner of her left eye and is quite romantic. So I wanted to definitely give her mostly her Gen 1 look, which I think is super adorable, and I didn't have any like heart-shaped tattoos or anything specifically, so I chose heart-shaped freckles, and I think it fits her aesthetic and her look very well. In the 2022 reboot, she's portrayed as an accentless character with Taiwanese American heritage. Draculara faces pressure to be an excellent student like her father and relatives. She also deals with her secret passion for witchcraft, a practice strictly forbidden in the monster world due to the threat it poses to monster kind, and is considered a filthy human habit, which I thought was really strange for them to take that angle. And it's just like a huge jump, I think, from her original design to Taiwanese American, which I have no problem with that. I love the inclusion. It's just so different, I think, from people who were exposed to her Gen 1 versus Gen 3. So if you guys saw me use like those lip piercings that are heart-shaped. I wanted to use those so bad, and that's why I kept putting them on every character, if you guys caught that. I'm glad I was able to give both Draculara and Clawdeen little teeth accessories, but each was different. I downloaded more berets just to give her Gen 1 look because I had a lot of berets and then I deleted them because I wasn't using them. So as you guys can see, I went heavy on the Valentine's look for Draculara. I wanted to give her lots of heart themes and cutesy bow themes, but I also wanted to tie in her vampire side or her bat side as well. And then last, but especially not least, we are going to be doing Clawdeen Wolf. If you guys skipped to this part, boo, tomato, throwing tomatoes. Just kidding. But really, if you guys will please go back and watch the rest of the video, that will be really helpful for me. But if you didn't skip and you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching the whole video. Clawdeen Wolf is a Brooklyn accented African-American 15-year-old daughter of a werewolf. In school, Clawdeen is known for her impeccable sense of fashion and aspires to become a fashion designer in Scaris. Being a werewolf, she possesses immense strength and speed, especially during the full moon. But this also makes her prone to bad moods and fiery tempers. Before the Ghoul Squad was formed, she was Draculara's best friend and highly protective of her. She also has a purple kitten named Crescent. In the 2022 reboot, Clawdeen is Afro-Latina, daughter of a werewolf mother and human father. It kind of reminds me of Miles Morales from Spider-Man, I'm not gonna lie. But before learning her werewolf heritage, she spent most of her life in the human world, where she always had a fascination and interest in monsters. On her 15th birthday, she was gifted a necklace by her father, and with its guidance, she stumbled upon Monster High by accident. Clawdeen later discovers that her necklace is the Moonclaw Talisman, one of the many talismans created by the Monster Council, which gives her incredible strength, speed, and ability to transform from a werewolf to a human and vice versa at will. She aims to find her mother, who had disappeared many years ago, into another dimension called Beheem. It is through her attempts that she's able to meet her long lost brother Claude. So I'm gonna be honest, Clawdeen had the worst redesign as far as background. They didn't give her much difference. I also don't like that her redesign kind of separates her from the original Monster High franchise altogether. Like, she stumbled across Monster High, and also they took away her entire like werewolf aesthetic, and now she has the option to tap into that side of her heritage or her descent, which is why I gave her mostly a Gen 1 look, and I think she came out beautifully. She was my favorite character that I created today. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the creative sim. Let me know what you guys would like to see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.